On this episode of Cox Connections, what does it mean to live united? We'll ask our friends from the United Way as they come in to talk about the organization's efforts and impact on our region, especially on early childhood education. The Boys and Girls Clubs have many means to help try to keep our young people out of trouble. We'll find out what it takes to keep up with the times after more than 40 years in Hampton Roads. And staying ahead of technology is exactly what Cox is doing. We'll show you some new tricks and features that'll let you enjoy your Cox services online and on the go. Stay tuned. Cox Connections is next. Hello and welcome to Cox Connections. I'm your host, Gary McCullum, Senior Vice President and General Manager for Cox, Virginia. United Way is certainly one of the most recognized brands around. In fact, it's regularly listed among the top 10 nonprofit brands in the U.S. But the value to those of us in Hampton Roads lies more in the impact United Way has on our region. Here with me to talk about their mission to build a better community are Carol McCormack, the new president and CEO of United Way of Southampton Roads, and Sarah Bishop, United Way's Director of Educational Initiatives. Thank you both for being on the show.
Thank you, Gary. We're delighted to be here.
And welcome, Carol. So it's been not quite a year. So you're learning the area.
I
You
am.
come to us from Arizona.
Yes, Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa, Arizona, a little cooler here, I guess, than
Just
than
a
Mesa.
little bit, but not much.
But when you were there, you did some wonderful things in that community. I've heard around just reaching out and building collaborative partnerships with people. What lessons there can be applied here in this region?
Well, I think the power of United Way isn't just the fact that people donate to us or that people volunteer for specific agencies. A huge part of United Way is the fact that we have such outreach. We have tentacles in the business community, we have it in the faith community, we have it in our schools, we have partnerships all over the community. And the idea of taking the United Way and being the collaborative partner that brings all of those different organizations together to work on particular community issues makes a huge difference.
And the United Way has this philosophy, a good life for all. What does that mean? And tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, the idea is there are building blocks to a better life. One of those is education, to have a good education, a good foundation so that you can get a good job. The second is financial stability. And financial stability is basically that same thing, having enough income to be able to take care of your family. And the third part of that is health. All of us do better if we have good health. So those are the three things that we, if you think about, United Way's fund.
Well, you mentioned education. Sarah, clearly you're leading this effort within United Way around spearheading early childhood education efforts. Tell me a little bit about that and how is it going?
Yes. Back in 2001, United Way made a major commitment to pull together the community around the issue of school readiness. And we had Head Start join us, and every city school system joined us. And that program, Raising a Reader, has been supported by Cox Charities, so thank you very much. We have 10,000 books in kids' hands because of the foundation that you have here at Cox Charities. We've done a wonderful job in mobilizing the community around school readiness. And now the community is asking us to say, okay, what are we going to do about middle school transition or the high school dropout rate? What can you do to help us there? And so we're going to expand our mobilization efforts to address on-grade reading, middle school issues, high school career and college issues that will help make sure everyone has an opportunity for it.
You know, as I'm listening to you, I mean, this is so strategic in terms of your focus. I mean, as a business person, we're excited that we were able to partner with Cox Charities to provide that grant. But as a business person, this really is about workforce development. It's about creating the workforce of the future. And if you invest in our young people, you're going to have these great, skilled, talented people entering the workforce. So it's neat that the United Way is looking at this strategically.
It's not just workforce development. What United Way found out by looking at every school system's dropout rates and looking at how many children are retained each year, we looked at the number of children retained in our Southampton Roads 5 cities in the year 2007-8 academic year. And we got that number, 12,043 children, and we found out what it cost to educate a child for 1 year to re-educate them. So in the year 2000, it's a big number. It came to $124 million was spent by our 5 Southampton Road cities just re-educating kids who had to be retained. So the business community hears 124 million and they say, we can't afford not to partner with you. It is workforce development and it is cost saving.
Yeah, absolutely, because that is, it's just money that we've thrown away.
We've thrown away. We shouldn't have to spend it.
And if we had done things back to the early childhood initiative, if we had done things earlier on, those kids would have been ready.
Absolutely. They'd have a chance for success. Absolutely.
I guess, Carol, you and I were talking, I guess you have these 4 strategic imperatives. Tell me a little, I guess education is at the foundation of these, but tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I think it goes back to our strategic direction. If you think of United Way, we are a great humanitarian organization. We have fed people, we have sheltered them, we have clothed people, we've provided after-school tutoring. We've done lots of things throughout the community for a number of years. And so the idea now is looking at the community issues that we have big picture, and how do we change some of those big picture issues? Because as much as we've done, for example, the high school dropout rate has gotten worse. And so we need to pull everyone together and say, how do we, as community partners, do a better job? But the 4 areas, as we said, were education, financial stability, health, and the last one is community building, which is what a United Way does.
Right. It's so important. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. There are people who are going to listen to this and they're going to want to know, how can I help? How can I get involved? How can I do more for the United Way? How should they contact you? Is it just financial assistance? Can they volunteer? What are the needs?
They can do both. There are 2 ways to contact us. We can go onto our website, which is unitedwayshr.org,
okay, I think
and contact us, yes. Or they can call us, and our phone number is 757-853-8500.
Well, you're making a huge difference in this community. Without a doubt, we are a better community because of the United Way. And I just, when I think about how nightmarish it would be to wake up one day and the United Way was not here. If you think about it that way, I mean, you're doing tremendous work in this community. And so on behalf of all of us, thank you for all the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
After the break, staying ahead of the times is key to helping at-risk teens. A look inside the challenges for Boys and Girls Clubs. Stay with us for more Cox Connections.